I think everything's good. As usual, we start discussing like, oh, is the sound working?
Yeah.
2 seconds before I'm like, I'm already live. I was already live. The countdown, all the things, I'm live. Anyway, hi everyone. This is welcome to the chaos. AmyR here with Prairie paper and ink. I am a professional. So professional. I do this for a living and we're not organized, but like we kind of are. We just, yeah, we wait till the last second and we're just like, hey, do the cameras work? Or in his case, like making sure the sound works. I was like, it's too late. We're started. Yeah. Seems like everything's working. I think we're good. Yeah. So, welcome to my face. Card making space. Live, unscripted, unfiltered, pure crafty chaos. Hashtag. And yeah, the unpaid intern's in the corner.
That's me.
And it's cold. It's
Yep.
cold. I don't know. What is the temperature right now? It's cold. Like, the floor here in my garage is like radiating chill. My toes are cold.
It's high noon and it's minus 24 Celsius right now. Feels like minus 31.
Minus 31 Celsius with the wind chill. I believe it because it's cold. We got heaters going and all the things, so we'll be fine. So I hope everyone had a good holiday week. If you celebrate, we did. Everything was good. I mentioned on my Facebook page, I slightly hurt my back. I didn't like throw out my back or anything. I just woke up the day after Christmas and I was like, why does everything hurt so much? And yeah, cooking turkey, a big one. He was a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't paying attention and not thinking. And I was like lifting with my back, this like big old roasting pan, you know, full of everything. And just by the next day, I was just like, not fun. I'm fine. Everything's fine. So we're good. And I'm right back at it. Like live Sunday. I'll be live next Sunday. Might do some bonus lives. I always promise them. Who knows whether it'll happen. I have a lot of videos coming. There's going to be a lot. I have a few I need to get done before the end of this month, which is in a few days. End of this year. Crazy that it's going to be 2026 soon. And yes, to all y'all that are much further south. It gets cold here, man. For those that aren't aware, we are in Saskatchewan, and this is kind of average, really. It's been snow and cold, and it will be until May.
There's been a lot of snow.
We've gotten a lot of snow. There's been a lot. It's been interesting. Very thankful. Both our neighbors so far, I kind of have been getting a kick out of teasing the unpaid intern and the snowblower, and it's like they all kind of fight over who gets out first to use their snowblower to like prove that they are the man of this area, and they like clean all our sidewalks, and sometimes they'll do the you know, like all these things, and I'm just like sitting back kind of laughing, and I was like, y'all want to duke it out, do it. I love it. It's all good. It's all good. This year went by so fast. Really, it honestly didn't feel like it. It's been a crap year for me. Again, not going to get into it all, but very glad this year is almost over. Looking forward to 2026. But anywho, everything is chaos. However, even though we're disorganized and don't know what we're doing half the time, I do have a card planned in my head. I also do have it linked. Did I do that? Yes, I did. The little linky doobly-doo is in the doobly-doo. Very technical. Below the video to give away the card. Have I mailed out any of the live stream winners since like November? No. However, I was doing some housework basically behind the scenes before I went live, and I was doing address labels and all the things. So I am hoping to get things mailed soon. I'm not even going to say this week because between also the holidays and things being shut down, you know, like closed for the holidays and things, it's like there's no point. Let me get to that one. Question. I totally cased your card from last week. Is there a way to share it with you? Post it online and tag me. That's the easiest way, is you post it like Instagram, Instagram's generally the easiest, and then tag me in it because I always have my socials and stuff linked, my Instagram and my Facebook and that kind of stuff. But that's generally the easiest way. I don't always see all the things. I try. Not I'm not like that famous or nothing. It's more just yeah. Like sometimes people email me that kind of stuff though. When people try to email me photos of like cards they've made, things like that, that's a major hit and a miss. Because sometimes I see those emails, sometimes I don't. Because my email inbox, y'all, is just a vortex of insanity. I fight with it constantly, trying to keep up with like the brands I work with and all the things. But yeah, if you tag me on Instagram, that's usually I can usually see it, and I always try to like comment and stuff because I love that. I love that. I also need to be better about like I'm active on Instagram and I try to leave comments and stuff, but I don't interact enough. Like I always heart everybody's comments just like I do on here on my YouTube, and I try to respond as much as I can. It's a lot. It's a lot, but I try. I try. And Instagram I just need to get better with. I go through phases with Instagram. It's like I log in and, we'll scroll through, I post my things, whatever, and then it just social media, man, and the robot algorithms and all the insanity. It just is what it is. So, anywho, hello to everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the chaos. I was going to cut a piece of cardstock. That's what I was going to do before we started. I knew there was something because I need a piece of cardstock so we can actually, stamp it and emboss it and all the things I plan on doing. Like, again, I am so super professional. But yeah, I will be mailing out that'll work, that little scrap, because I'm going to use that for something else. I'll be mailing out cards hopefully soon. That's soon.
As soon as is the post office repaired now? After the
I have no idea. We should have looked. I don't. When was the last time I left my house? I guess I should have had you look when you came back from Costco. I don't even know, but they are open during specific. Like they were open only during business hours. You couldn't go in after hours to like mail things and check our. Because, yeah, we talked about that too. Anyway, we're gonna figure things out. I am behind on mailing out literally everything, but I do it. It'll be good. We'll be good. Everything will be good. Yep. There's so many social media platforms to keep up. Yeah. Honestly, the only social media I use is YouTube, obviously. YouTube, Facebook for my business page. I stick to just 99% like card making crafting with Facebook because Facebook is a hellscape, really. That's all. So I just use it because there's a lot of good like crafty card making communities. My business page, my Prairie paper and ink page. So Facebook, Instagram. That's it. That's all I do. I've got my little website, and then I have my Patreon, and then that's it. So I don't bother with anything else. I don't have time for anything else. And yeah, it just gets to be too much chaos, and I just nope out about it. Anyway. Okay. Okay. I need to, how about we flip the camera? How about we flip the camera down so you guys can like actually see what I'm doing?
Wouldn't that be a treat?
I know, right? Instead of just staring at my face while I'm like,
Doing things with your hands?
Yeah. It's like, we'll just pretend. We'll just all imagine, as I make a card. Y'all, it'll take me a bit. It always does. Every time I go live, it takes me a little bit for my brain to fully warm up. I'm just like running on autopilot and haven't had enough caffeine yet. Okay. So, Neenah, Desert Storm cardstock. Starting with that. And I want to add a little bit of pattern to it first. I'm going to like build up. There's going to be a lot of texture when this is all said and done. That's the plan anyway. So I've got Swiss Dots background stamp and question, would you be willing to do a video on the Altenew Shimmer Relief Base? I did. I've used it in a couple videos. I did a video kind of giving my first impressions, and then I used it in, didn't I use it in a live? I think I used it in a live like a month ago as well.
I might be able to find your first impressions video.
Yes, if you type in, when you search, type in just shimmer. It'll be scroll back up. No. Type in relief, RELIEF. Just ignore the shimmer. Delete that. Search for just relief and see if that comes up. I can't remember that one. That's the one. Link that in the doobly-doo. Yeah, I did a video and I'll be doing more. But I've shown them in lives too. I did a couple lives and I was going through and showing them, and then I've used them in recently. And I'll be using them more. I will. Anyway. Okay, back to what I was doing. Swiss Dots. Can't go wrong with this. I've used this in multiple videos, yada, yada, yada. So it's the background stamp, and then there's also sentiments, which I was like, ooh, we'll use that one again. I'll probably put that one on the inside. Life is great. This just gives dots, and you can't go wrong with dots. They work with everything. So I don't need this to be perfect. If I wanted it to be like the pattern to be exact and then I would use like a Misty stamp wheel, just a stamp positioner, to ensure. I just want some little dots on the back of this. I'm not, because we're going to add splatter, of course. I also want to throw this through in a box. We'll get to it. So, face up on my desk. Just simple. And then some white pigment ink. Again, nothing crazy. This is the way we had to use stamps back when we had background stamps that were red rubber on like wood mounted. Remember those? And they were a small fortune for each one. And we didn't have stamp positioners. So the way to use background stamps back then was just face up, ink them up, press your cardstock into it. Because trying to stamp with an enormous stamp was nearly impossible. Anyway, those were the days. And I still do it because it just works. So inked it out with the white pigment ink. Press my Desert Storm cardstock into it. Press with fingers. And then we've got some little texture, which subtle, and I'm okay with that because I don't want it to be super solid. If you want super solid, especially white, because I get asked that one a lot, like what's the best white ink? Like nothing I use gives solid. There isn't one. White, if you want it solid, you need to heat emboss with white embossing powder. White pigment ink, you can stamp it multiple times with a stamp positioner. So if I inked up and stamped, also this one needs to be, like I need to re-ink this, but you can get like decent, but especially with like sentiments and anything really, really solid, if you want solid white, you need to use embossing powder. Just, my joints don't enjoy the rapid fluctuations. Yeah, kind of same. Not so much the joints. I get headaches when the temperature likes to go all over and the pressure. And that's why I felt like absolute garbage yesterday and I couldn't figure out why. And then Chris checked his little app and it's like, oh, the pressure is rapidly, I think it was rising. Something. And it's like, oh, that's why I've got a headache. Love that so much for me. Okay. Every time I try to hold the cardstock in place while I press with fingers to ensure cover, I end up with double stamping. Yeah, if your cardstock is shifting, like if it doesn't work for you, I don't really have a problem with it. But like I said, if you want it to be even or whatever, then use a stamp positioner. Yeah. Okay, got that. And then I want to add more texture to it. So I pulled out, I don't have a backing for this. This is I think it's called Twinkle Snowflake. It's an embossing folder. Is that what I'm using? I think that's what it's called. Twinkle Snowflakes. It's pretty. So I'm going to emboss it And I do have a little graphic. Look at that. Isn't it amazing? So, to use it in my Anna Griffin Empress, one cutting plate and the embossing folder, depending on your machine. You may need to add the metal shim or the usually a lot of their embossing folders come with like that little chipboard backing, which I always keep. I don't have it for this one, so I can't show it. But that or a piece of cardstock, it will vary depending on your machine. However, I find that most of the time I just need the cutting plate and then I can run it through. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. And then okay. So got that. Let's go back. I need to get my buttons set up so I can do all this proper, but oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. So we got dots and texture. Hello. And then if I really want to take it up even another notch, I wasn't gonna, but why not? Why not? I can do what I want. I can do what I want. I'm going to take the ink pad and go like direct to paper very, very lightly. And, ooh, I could be fancy. I could be fancy. Oh, look at that. Look at my amazing side cam that I need to use more often since I figured out how to do it. I'm probably going to have to get that whole foot pedal thing. I keep talking to Kathy Zielski about that, and I kept saying, like, dude, there's no way that's going to work for me. But yeah, I'm going to have to find a way to make it work. But yeah, direct to paper, very light, especially one like this, because this folder is not super deep, you know, like your raised areas aren't high raised. So I'm barely touching the cardstock and I'm not pressing with the ink pad. I'm just like, I can feel it the minute the ink pad touches the raised areas, and then just little swirly motions to get it to transfer the ink to those raised areas. And it doesn't, again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to add more than likely more than one type of splatter along with all the other stuff I'm going to add to this. But it gives it that. And then if I go back to that, now we have that. So we have texture on texture on texture. Because we've got the stamped Swiss dots, the embossing folder, and then adding the ink. And it just adds all that, like just the background, you know, just that. Do. You try out the combos you live. I'm curious, do you try out the combos you use before your lives, or do you wing it just based on what you plan? I would never think to combine that stamp and embossing folder. I wing it. You know, sometimes things don't work. Most of the time, yes. Every once in a while, if it's something really out of the blue, I will do some sort of test. But so often, it's like I didn't have time. I didn't have time to test that. It is what it is. Okay, so we did all of that, and then I'm going to set him aside, and I'm going to use like I have a lot of this seems very random. It is kind of random. It's hopefully going to come together because I didn't test it. We'll see. I just pulled out a little scallop circle. This is from the Scallop Shaker Shapes die set because it's meant to create like shaker cards or whatever, but I just wanted a little scallop circle. So I was like, ooh, that works. So that's what I did. And I just die cut white cardstock. And then I want to add like pattern to it. So I dug through my stash and pulled out this oldie but goodie. This was, I think, in one of the card kits earlier this year. I honestly don't even remember. I think this was a card kit set. The set itself is available. It's all good. But it's the vintage love notes. I just wanted this little like music background, because I was like, ooh, that would work to give, again, some texture to this little white die cut here. So I'm going to take my little music background, and we're going to have to stamp it twice, which is fine. And again, I could use a like stamp positioner. I'm just going to use a block, because this as well, I'm not concerned about this stamping like perfectly. I've got a lot of other stuff that's going to get added. I do need black ink though. That would help. That would help. Where did it go? He ran away. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. You don't have to heat up the cardstock to dry it. With this, I'm not worried about it. If it was really dark cardstock, maybe. Pigment inks, you generally want to heat set them. This one, I don't worry about it too much. And in the way I've added it, I'm not concerned. Like, I'm not concerned because I'm adding a bunch of other stuff. If this was like my focus, then I'd probably maybe either blast it with a heat tool or just let it sit for a good long time, let it dry. But yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Did you watch Kathy and Dan make cards? Oh yeah, I was in the chat like a dirty shirt. Some of the time I was working while they were doing that. It was fun. Dan did good, and Kathy did good setting up all the cameras and the microphones and all the things, because that is an incredible amount of work to do stuff like that. So it was fun. It was fun. Do you know if there's a background stamp? Not that I'm aware of. Not like this, and not like small like this. I would like a background stamp that was like sheet music. You know, that would be fun. I would get, huh?
Claire de Lune is a background stamp.
Is that what this one is?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be a good one.
Yeah, Claire de Lune would be nice. But yes, a sheet music background stamp would be fabulous. I would get a lot of use out of that. There's some I'm sure that exist on the market. I just don't have any. So that's why I pulled out this little set. And it works. It works. See? It works. Didn't stamp perfectly? Again, don't care. It's fine. It's fine. And I made a mess. Again, don't care. We're just gonna wipe that up. It was so funny. Oh yeah, Kathy and Dan are funny. I was texting with Kathy. It was like a month ago. I forget. I was texting with her the one day, or the one evening. Her and I were texting back and forth about microphones and those sorts of things, because she had tested one in her live. So I was texting her and giving her my opinion, basically. And we were just texting back and forth, and then I had to laugh because then she had to stop, and she was like, just FYI. She's like, Dan is listening in, because I think she was using voice to text. And she's like, Dan was listening in, and he wanted to let me know that he used to be in a band. So he's well versed on microphones. And I was like, hey, could have known. I wish we had known that ahead of time, you know? It's like I could be texting him and being like, yo, before I buy this very expensive microphone, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I get a kick out of those too. Okay, so there's my got snowflakes and dots and music notes. Got music notes, so that's going to kind of go there-ish. And then let me move this out of the way. And then I need, I have a heart, because that's why I said I'm not worried about this being print, because the heart, this little heart I die cut using the heart shaker shapes. That's it. That's what I used. Just the smaller one. And that's another one that's meant to like create shaker windows, things like that. But I was like, ooh, that size is kind of cute. I like it. It'll work. Because then I'll have a little heart. Let's got that. And then we're going to do a bird. I pulled out this guy, which is the sweet Songbird, and I die cut him from some various cardstocks, specifically Schoolhouse Red Fog. I did white cardstock and dark chocolate for his little beak piece. There we go. Tim Holtz has a background sound like that. Oh, he probably does, and I probably own it. I will have to flip through my Tim Holtz backgrounds. I have a basket of a bunch of them. I probably have, and if I don't have the music one, I'll have to get it. Because I do have a bunch of that. I need to organize, y'all. So yeah. And yeah, it's from the Vintage Love Notes. All of the supplies are linked in the description box below the video. And they're also linked at the top of the chat. It's pinned at the top of the chat. And then the unpaid intern is doing his job and putting it in the chat for me.
Trying to keep up.
You're trying to keep up? Awesome. I need a pink. Let's take a light gray. A pink, a light gray, a really dark red Cabernet. Cabernet, of course. That'll be. So we'll add a little bit of color to our little birdie, or a little extra color. I need my teeny, there he is, my teeny little blending brush. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of depth to our pieces before we assemble them. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of flannel ink. Let me quickly wipe this brush off, because knowing me, the last time I used it was probably with like a black ink or something. It should be fine. I'm not too concerned. However, if I can find a scrap. Oh yeah, we're good. This'll work. This'll work. So we'll use just a little bit of the flannel ink, which will not be true to color, because I'm pretty sure that I used a really dark color last time. And we've discussed this. Does Amy clean her blending brushes? No. Will she ever? Probably not. I can't be bothered. I really can't. I really don't care. I just make do. Do. So we'll just like kind of flick on a little bit of ink. So the flannel, aka whatever random combination this is creating. Some form of gray. Whatever. I'll just kind of do that. Whatever's left on my brush, kind of drag it up even more, just to build up that little bit of depth. So that's that. So we don't need that. And then for his the little wing and tail bits, we'll use Cabernet, because Schoolhouse Red cardstock is very red. So you got to go dark for things to oh, that would explain it to you. Oh, that's why I used black soot with this. I grabbed the wrong brush. Yeah, so this is a combination of flannel and black soot distressing. That's why it's so gray, because I grabbed the wrong brush. Good job. Good job. I'm a professional. Yep. That was on me. I don't really care. So, yeah, black soot overtakes basically everything. I think this stamp set was made in cooperation with Tim. Oh yeah, this one was. This one that I used this from. Yeah. When they did this kit, Tim Holtz had obviously heavy input into these images. It's a very vintage Tim Holtz-esque. Yep. And there's several sets that Simon Says Stamp has done, like kind of with him, and yeah, this being one of them. So, yeah. Okay. Cabernet ink, cardstock, and same thing, just light dragging it from the edge and just kind of flicking it like this. There we go. Lovely. And then we do it again with the other piece. I'll go a little heavier handed with this one, just to bring in more of that depth. And like I always say, depending on the cardstock you're working on and the look you're going for, you always got to remember that the ink is going to look super, super dark when you're first applying it versus when the ink sits and dries. Because the ink will dry back, it'll soften, which means it's gonna lighten up a little bit. So you always got to kind of keep that in the back of your mind, because depending on the base color you're working on, it can look super deep, super dark, and it's like that's what you want. You know, you want that, but it's like, oh, come back to it when it's fully dry. It's not going to be that dark. So sometimes with especially darker cardstock, if you really want that deep, that's where you bring in the black soot and add a bit of that. I don't need like massive depth. I just want to build that little bit, just that little bit. So I'm fine with any of this like drying back a bit. And again, black soot basically will overtake everything. It just does. So, brushes work better when they're well used and dirty. Kinda, yeah. Like it's only when I want like a specific color that, yeah. I was like, why was it coming across that dark? Well, yeah, because like I said, I used the brush that I always use with black soot. I keep that brush dedicated to black soot. Whatever. I'm not too concerned about it. Everything will be fine. It'll be fine. So we got all our little pieces. This bird is super easy to assemble. I just need some glue, which my glue is definitely going to be clogged because it's been sitting for a couple days. Yep. So grab a pin. Just like I don't clean my brushes, I never remember to put the lid on my glue. So I just take a pin. And because, yeah, it's been the holidays and I haven't been working for once. Okay. There we go. Hello to everybody tuning in. There we go. So, a little bit of glue. Don't need much. Well, and all the pieces just kind of make sense. This little piece just overlays right onto his little body there, right onto his little tail feathers. So we got that piece. And then there's this one that goes rather. So we got his little kind of back in the top of his head. So we'll get that guy like that. Just like so. And then you got new glue in your stocking this year. Hooray! I always stock up on glue. But then I do this as a job, so I always need to have extras. Okay. And then the little head portion just lines up like that. So then he's got his beak, and he technically has his little eye, but I'm gonna add something instead of using it just like that. But you could just leave it like that. Whatever floats your boat. Got that. Oh, and I was gonna add pink to his cheeks. Ballerina. Little tiny blending brush. Doop, 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 doop. There we go. It's all good. And we just blend it out. And you top off the excess. There we go. Yeah, that works. Okay. Any idea why the Simon website is so slow? Honest, I am not sure. I am going to be reaching out to one of my contacts behind the scenes, and I'm sure they're aware of it, and I'm sure they're working on it. So, but I am gonna, yeah, something is slowing down their site, and I'm not exactly sure what it is and why, because it wasn't like that. And then just in the last month, not quite, something's lagging. Because I thought it was just me. And then someone else contacted me and asked if I knew what was going on. And I was like, oh, okay, something is happening, and I'm not sure what it is. Okay. So this technically covers the wing, but I think I'm gonna just drag it up a little bit. Just because I can. And then I'm gonna trim that little bit off because this will cover the rest of it. But you can do what you want. You know, it's meant to go like this. But yeah, I'm gonna lift it a little bit just to give him a little extra, you know? You can do what you want with your die cuts. It's just paper. It's your wafer die, you know? So we're gonna do that. I was having issues. Okay. Yeah, see, it seems like okay. Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to one of the people and see if just to make sure that I assume they're aware, but I'll still just reach out and be like, hey, something's going on. Don't know what it is, but yeah, we're all having issues. Okay, where are my scissors? There they are. I'm wondering if it's from the increased activity due to sometimes, but it's something else because yeah, websites have had issues before. You know, when they get hit hard with a ton of traffic, that does happen. But no, it's more than that, I think, because yeah, I thought it was me because I usually have 5 million tabs open and 15 things going on, uploading a video, blah 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 blah, and I can like slow down the internet to a crawl. And so I thought it was me at first, and then I had a couple of people mention, I think it was last week's live that a couple of people had mentioned it, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's not just me. So there we go. We got pieces, and then we got a little birdie. So we just add his little wing like that. Okay. And then we just gotta throw that one on there like so. And we've got this adorable little birdie. Do, do, do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Got that. What else? Eyeball. As of right now, these are in stock. I've used them in a few videos. The little doodlebug, eye for an eye, shaped sprinkles. I love them for eyes. You know, gives the little critters something extra. And I like that they're self-adhesive. Little black, like the little half flat, half pearls. Little black ones, those work as well. But yeah, I stick that on there. And then he's got a shiny little eyeball with a bit of dimension, and he's super cute, and I just love him. He's just adorable. So, okay. Doodly doo. There we go. So we got some birdie. And then we have so he's gonna be, that's why I wanted the music notes. Because I was like, I thought it was kind of fitting with our little bird to have some little music notes. And then greenery. I pulled out, didn't even pull it out. I've used this in so many videos. So many times. the Pointy Pine Sprigs. I used just the smaller one. So I used that, and then I also pulled out, I think this came out last year. This was the Holiday Greenery little wafer die. So got those, and then I die cut pieces. So I've got this Pine Sprigs I die cut from Simon's Midnight Green cardstock. Super dark. Loves it. Loves it. And then the Holiday Greenery, I used Simon's Greenleaf as well as the Rainbow Splash Emerald. I think that's the color. I think that's what it's called, is Emerald. Yep. Emerald. And then, yeah, got some red cardstock, some more cotton candy, some white doobly-doos. So we got all kinds of little bits to add to this. And I just want to add, again, a little bit of ink to basically the greenery. I'm not going to bother adding ink to the floral pieces because they are small and I'm not going to bother. I'm also not going to add ink to these because they're so dark. I've talked about this with this cardstock. If you want to try and add depth to this, your pretty much only option would be Block Soot Distress Ink is to add because it's so dark it's almost black. So yeah, and I have random little extra bits. I was die cutting scraps and not sure how much I'm going to use, but I always save the extras with the packaging for the next time. But I also need to pick out a couple greens. I need some greens to add the ink. Yep. And probably that one too, just because I can. There we go. Green. All right. Which I need now a green blending brush. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. So we're gonna add, let's set those guys there. We'll set him over there. So we'll start with just some field ink. And we're doing the exact same thing that I was doing with the bird pieces, is you just I'm kind of like flicking. I don't even know. We'll see. Let me. Can I do the... Oh, I might be able to do that. Okay. If I move my ink pad radar. There we go. Yeah. Look at me being all fancy. I'm just like so professional. Okay. So I'm just kind of starting off the die cut and it's like flicking. Doop, doop, doop. Like that. That's it. Super simple. So keeping the, the first bit of that ink, so the darkest, at the base of the leaf and just flicking it up. And then on to the next one. There we go. Yes, the unpaid intern is doing a very good job. He's paying attention. More often than not during my lives, he's just zoned out. Reading, It's yeah, going down whatever random rabbit holes he's going down. Like, he's kind of paying attention, but not really. I don't blame him. Like, that's why he's unpaid. It'd be a different story if I was actually paying him. I'd be like, excuse you, like, I am paying for this time. But yeah, he's unpaid. I can't afford to pay someone to put up with me, let alone help during my lives. So yeah, it only matters when people are asking like specific things, or winners need to be chosen, that kind of stuff, where it's like, hey, you got to do your job. But
I love choosing winners.
Yep. But yeah. And sometimes I just, I get in my zone. Other times, him and I are chatting, whatever. It all just, it varies. It just depends on what we have going on. Crafting Inception, yeah, kind of. It's a little bit crazy with the dual camera view.
The the weird thing is, like, I'm watching and they're not perfectly in sync. They're off by, like, I would say probably about a fifth of a second.
You're now making me think. Is it off? Kind. I don't think they're off. It's more because it's the different angles.
It could be.
You know,
I think
looking
the one on the left
down.
has fewer frames than the one on the
Oh,
right.
possibly. I may have to fiddle with the frame rate. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole,
Yeah,
but I may have to.
We'll
We'll see.
We'll play with it later. Maybe.
We'll see. It is a little trippy though, because watching, you know, face down versus side, like getting two views of the same thing is a little bit trippy. But yeah. Yeah. There's our little, okay. So that's field. And then I want to add, why not? Let's even deepen it up a bit even more. And we'll go in with kale. Let me move that one. I'm starting to make a mess. That is not a surprise. Okay, so we'll go in with kale and we're going to do the same sort of thing. Is I kind of start at the base and then I just drag it up. Whatever's left on the brush, it just lightens as it gets towards the tips of the greenery. This applies also to, well, pretty much all ink blending that I do, like whether it's a petal or a floral or a bird, like whatever. So add a bit of that. And then same thing, doing that little like flicking sort of motion. There you go. It's really useful to get, well, yeah, that's why I have wanted to do the side camera view for a lot of years. Even before live streaming. I used to film back in the day some of my original card making videos were not filmed straight down how I film now. Back in the day, I did not have fancy camera mounts. All I had was a tripod, and I used to have it basically like strapped to my desk, and it was over my shoulder. So it was filming kind of over my shoulder and a bit on an angle, which was kind of nice, really. And a friend of mine kept saying, she was like, I really miss that camera view. I was like, dude, I cannot have that. That was a nightmare to film with. An absolute nightmare to film that way. Like, I had to be so careful how I moved because I would hit the tripod and I was literally like kind of strapped into my desk, basically. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But yeah, now I've got technology and things and yeah. Okay. There we go. I was missing something. Now we got pine ink and the emerald cardstock, and not concerned about the ink that's on my work surface. Like, green is green. It's gonna mix together. If I was switching to a different color, like if I was going into reds or what have you, then I would wipe up my ink. But with this, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so we just drag these little bits like that. So we've got that large piece, and then the individual leaves. We're doing the same thing. Just flicking that onto our piece. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we got all of that. And there I am. Whee! Okay. So now I can wipe up this ink before I get my elbow in it, etc., 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 because that's basically a given. That would be an interesting camera view, sort of like getting your perspective as you craft. Yeah, that's why people liked it back then, was because it used to be kind of literally like over my shoulder film. It was, yeah, kind of different. But like I said, really annoying. And all the little drawers and stuff I couldn't access beside my desk because the tripod was there. And all the little things. And that's when I used to have it was a little point and shoot, which I may still have in a drawer somewhere. I don't know if I still have that camera. It was a little pink Canon point and shoot digital camera. That's how I filmed all my first YouTube videos.
Back when you lived in a small town land.
Yep, back then, back when I only had 2 children instead of 5, and chaos, just chaos. Okay, I got my greenery, I got florals, I got this. We need to assemble. Still got to do a sentiment, but that's going to come in a minute. I do want to cut this down a bit. Where's my, there it is. I was like, where's my paper trimmer? Okay, there we go. Okay. So this was originally 4 1/4, but I'm going to trim this down to about 4 by 5 1/4. Just slightly smaller than an A2 card base. So that the card base, which will be white, will give it a little bit of a white frame. Okay. So we got our card front. We got this. We got our little heart. I should probably add maybe a bit of ink. I wasn't planning on it, but maybe I should add a bit of ink to him. Just, again, to give him some depth, too. He deserves it. What color do I want? Let's do guava. Let's do guava. Guava. And this brush. Greenery looks lifelike. Oh yeah, it's amazing how much just adding some ink takes just a die cut, you know, from colored cardstock's wonderful, but then adding that ink and how it adds that depth to it, and it's not difficult, you know. And again, this will dry back quite a bit. This will soften when all is said and done, but it'll still be there. But this is why I just keep harping on, if you have a specific look you're going for. Like if you want it to stay like this darker, deeper green, you would just need to add more, like even darker colors. And that's where I talk about, like, test it. Grab a scrap of the color cardstock you want to use, add the inks, let it fully dry, see what you think. I'm generally, it's just like, this is good. It's good. It'll lighten. I'm good with it. You need like the NFL cameras on wires to show all the angles good. Yeah. I mean, it would be amazing to have a little gimbal that could like slide along and show the things. Y'all, I am technically a one-woman show. You know, the unpaid intern helps a bit, but he doesn't help with the like switching cameras or doing any of those things because
No, I'm not a producer.
no. And we would have to like completely alter my entire setup in order to do that. Like he's just sitting at my gaming computer to like moderate and that, but he doesn't have access to any of the controls, which I prefer it that way anyway. But yeah.
I can go over there and sneak a button press if I want.
I know, right? But yeah, I can only do so much. I would love to. I don't know why. I enjoy. It'd be cool to have like. I've been thinking about maybe like changing some camera angles, things like that. But I was like, that it's a ridiculous amount of work, y'all. It's nuts. Anyway, adding. What did I say I was adding? Guava ink, and yeah. Do. There we go. Much better. Look at all that depth. Isn't that great? Loves it. Okay. And then again, wipe off ink from work surface before I get my hand in it. because that's always what's going to happen if I don't do that. So we got a heart. Gotta move my little brushes back into their homes. There we go. There we go. That's better. All right. So that, we have a heart. We have all sorts of greenery bits, which I most likely am going to be chopping down. In fact, I will be chopping them down because they're maybe not. Maybe I'll look at them. We shall see. We shall see. If we do that, stick this guy on top of this one, and I've got my bigger pine sprigs. Okay, let's just start committing, because otherwise I could sit here forever and you know, indecision and overthink and all of it. So it's like, let's just commit. Let's just commit. So we'll add our little scallop circle with its cute little music background. We're just going to start with that. And then we'll start adding in these bigger pine sprigs. I'm going to stick them in here like that. And then we'll take one. Yeah, we'll take one like this. Just like that. And I just run a little bit of glue right down the spine of it, basically. Because we're just adhering cardstock. None of this is going anywhere, you know? And then this one we will take and snip him apart like that. So I could just stick one like that. And then, did I miss anything? I don't think I did. I'd love to be able to see both angles as you're inking. Yeah, I did that. And then, doop. Okay, so we got that. Bless you. So those are just kind of background filler bits. And then we've got the larger greenery bits. And like he's going to be like sitting, you know. See, he's going to be sitting with his little heart and looking all adorable. Okay, this is turning out. It's working. Hooray. So, dab on little bits of glue here and there. Just a bit. We don't need much. Okay. In fact, scrape off some of the glue blobs. And then we will commit like that. And it's going to look like a hot mess for a bit, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Just trust the process. And then we'll add the lighter one like this. And he will go. I still managed to get a glue goober like that. And then we just kind of angle it a little bit more than the other one so that they offset each other like that. And then it just fills it out even more. And then, okay, so we're going to have that. We're going to have him sitting there like that. We're going to want to tuck in some of these leaves and whatnot. In fact, I think I'm going to put the heart up with some Big Mama foam tape. That's what I'm going to do. So, we're going to take Bit of foam tape. Oh, I need more space. I'm going to forget I put it there, and then I'll be like, where's my foam tape? Yep. Yep. Okay. So that'll give the heart a little bit of dimension without adding a ton of bulk. So we got that. And then we add, we got schmutz. So we're going to add our little heart like that. So we've got him, and then he will be going there. So, okay, now that I can see where I'm putting things, I can start filling in a bit with some of these greenery bits. So we could start kind of tucking these in here. Just little bits of glue to hold things in place. Like that. And then I'm going to stick that one right there. Boop, boop. Flip it around. Birdie. Yes. Perfection. Like that. So got that bit. And then we'll do some right here. Could stick a couple like that. We're just kind of just filling in some of the gaps. Like this. So then that one, yep, can go right there. Like that. And then I still have like these little pieces that I had die cut scraps from. Stick that there. Could even tuck in this last little one like this. Yes, that'll work. Okay, so we got our little birdie. We've got our little greenery bits. Just like so. Yep. And then we can, then I'm already making a mess. Get back in your home. Yeah, because then it just hugs the edge of that heart. I like when things turn out like that. How perfect. Love it. Okay, so then add that one in like that. Okay, those pieces we don't need. We don't need those. This will be good. We got all of that. We got our little birdie. He's going to go there. And then our little flowers and things. Let me think for a second. Yes. Okay. So, little Mr. Birdie. I'll also put a little bit of Big Mama foam tape behind him. Why not? Why not? So we can pop him in. Like that. I can cut up a couple little pieces. Stick one right there, and we're good. And then, greenery, I know, right? And like it looks like deep, you know, just with the different shades, and yet it's still quite flat, you know? So we build up texture with ink and depth with just ink. Okay, so I want to put him. Okay, the card's gonna go like that. He's gonna go right there. Yeah. Yep. Yep. There we go. So got our little birdie. And then I've got all my little floral bits that I just, again, die cut from scraps of cardstock. I've got some like little pink ones and little red ones. And we're just going to add them here and there to this card. Put that little red one I want. There's that one. I could probably tuck that one. There we go. Yep. So then we're going to start tucking in some of these little floral bits like that. So that one can get tucked in right there. And then this little, oh, do these guys get adhered together? Oh, that's cute. How are they even supposed to? Oh, they're just supposed to be like tucked in as well. Okay. And as always, you do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. So then if I take this one, yeah, I could just also tuck that right in there. This is where I'm going to start needing reverse tweezers for the win. When you're dealing with little tiny die cuts like that. Tuck that like that. And then, oh, I like that one too. That's a cute little heart. Where do I want to put him? Or a cute little flower. We're going to stick him right there. Like that. Oops. And boops. And then, and I'm like just kind of just lightly curling. I could use my little, petal shaper toolkit as well, but for little pieces like this, I ain't too concerned about it. So got that one. And then this guy. Add a bit of glue to him. Hopefully some of this will still be in stock once I've recovered my crimson. Oh, most likely. Like, nothing I'm using is like limited edition or, anything like that. I was just grabbing stuff from my stash, but all of it is, all of it's available. And if things are, out of stock, whatever, they restock it, Sometimes it takes a while, but it does come. It does come back. Okay, and I still have, of course, I need to leave space for a sentiment. Where's my... I was going to do this ahead of time. We're probably going to stick it like... Oh yeah, that'll be fine. That'll work. Yeah, and then I'll stick, maybe I'll just tuck another little... Like I could tuck a floral kind of underneath as well. Because why not? I've got the die cuts, might as well use them. So we can tuck that one sort of under the things. And then we'll just add one more little, maybe we'll tuck in one of these little white bits here. I'll stick that like right there. Just like that. Just like that. Yeah. And I can do it again with another pink one. Because once I get started, it's hard to stop. So this one, we'll just kind of tuck it in right there, like that. And I'll do the same thing with the red one, just to tie it all together. Yeah. Okay. So got all our little bits. Do like this. There we go. There we go. Love it. And then, okay, I want to add, we are going to add splatter, but I also want to add frostiness just because like I'm still obsessed. I showed this in the last live. I showed it in a recent video. It comes in multiple sizes. You do not need, this is the biggest size, the 16 ounce. They've got it in a 2 ounce and a like 4 ounce container, and it's Snowflakes, and it is just a texture paste. On one of the Simon Says Stamps live, Heidi discussed embossing folders taking a long time. Embossing folders do. Embossing folders take, if when they go out of stock, if it's an item that they're going to restock, because some embossing folders, it's kind of one and done, whatever. Embossing folders take on average of 6+ months to restock. Just heads up on that. It is just, it's a very involved process, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make them and stock them and all things. Everything else usually has a faster turnaround time. So, yeah. Okay. Texture paste. Another option is if you have Distress Grit Paste Opaque, is pretty similar to this. I just don't have, I thought I had a big jar of the OG grit paste, and I do not. And my little tiny jar was completely dried out, so I can't compare it on camera, but I will down the road, because I'm pretty sure they're very similar. But this stuff is just very white, and it has little like chunks in it, so it looks like snow. You can apply it however you want. Use a palette knife, whatever. I just use a little filbert brush. It's just a flat, kind of rounded brush. Use a brush you're not worried about it getting potentially wrecked, because if you do not wash this stuff out fully from your brush, you're going to wreck your brush. So don't use a good brush. Don't use a pricey brush. You don't need to. And then, as always, press and seal for the win to keep your paste, especially when you've got a monster-sized jar like this. So I just take a bit of this on a brush, and it, like I said, it's chunky. It's got all kinds of weird little bits in it that make it texture. And then I just tap it onto wherever I want it to be. And I'll even kind of drag it a bit to try and get some of the chunky little bits onto here. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Like everything, folks, perfection is so overrated. Let's add a little bit more. So I just go along and add wherever I feel like it, especially the ends of the little like piney sprig bits to, make them look sort of wintry. I'll add a bit there. I'll add a bit to the flowers. And just kind of work my way around. All this greenery. I'm not going to add any to the bird because, he's just resting for a bit. He's not covered in frost. That would be disturbing. He's just chilling before he flies off. Because as usual, I make up random little stories in my head when I'm making a card. Doop. And this stuff dries, especially when it's applied like this. I'm not applying it very thick. This stuff dries really, really quickly. If you apply it really thick, it might, take a bit, but applying it like this, not so much. It dries for me, especially in my climate, in my garage in Saskatchewan. This stuff dries in minutes. But that will vary depending on how thick you apply your paste, the type of paste, your climate, all the things. Oh, give me a sec. And I gotta move sort of quickly so I can, oh, thank you, Nancy. Thank you for the super chat. I very much appreciate that. You're like a little Christmas elf. That's funny. The bird must not be from Saskatchewan. Well, birds aren't covered in frost though, you know, because they're flying around and moving. I guess sometimes they'd get some, you know, when they're just sitting and huddling, they'd get some snow on them, but I don't really. I like to think of them as they're just warm and cozy. They're just warm and cozy, you know?
Little birds around here, when they're out and about, they get so puffy.
Yeah, they do. They turn into fat little balls of feathers. It's really cute. We don't see them much other than like, which ones do we see?
The finches.
Yeah, we see the little finches. Yeah. But yeah.
I always worry about their tiny little twig legs being cold.
Well, they find ways. They got little dens and things that they hang out in when this weather gets so bloody cold. Oh my goodness. Okay. And yeah, I can just like lose myself in this stuff and just keep going, but I'll just I'll add a bit here. Just a bit, not a ton. I like it. I like it. I need to add. There we go. There we go. Yeah. And how it just gives it that very frosty, wintry look, you know? Can add a little bit more there, a little bit more there. Why not? Just let that schmutz. I could even take a little bit, build it up just a little bit on this heart. See if I can. There we go. Just kind of tap it on like that. And then do the same thing with, get on my brush. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'll show that in a second. Now, I gotta scrape all this off my brush and then clean my brush out. So, seal them up with the press and seal. Will you be doing another year of Christmas cards the 25th of every month? That was a great way to build up a stash. Yes. Most, like, on the 25th or around. I most likely will have a couple more holiday card videos coming this week. I have little piles of products that I haven't had a chance to use, that I have ideas for, that I'm filming things for. And then I'm going to continue into what I started this year, the beginning of this year. Because for years, a lot of you were requesting, it's like, why don't you do like a holiday video every month? And I was just like, no, don't want to. You can't tell me what to do. And then for whatever reason this year, I was like, why don't you just try it? And so I did. And I'm so glad I did, because I don't know, I put way too much pressure on myself. So it took the pressure off. And yeah, I'm going to do it this year. I've got, like I said, I'm still making holiday cards. And it especially now that Christmas is over, there's no pressure now. It's like, this is just for fun. You know? And I like it. So I will have more coming. And then once we're officially in 2026, I'll start a new holiday card series. So the 2026 holiday card series. And I will aim for the 25th of each month, but who knows? It's all just going to depend on my mood, and I always forget what day it is. So that's why I kept giving myself the out of on or around the 25th of each month. So yeah, this stuff, this paste specifically is a little deceptive. Like, you think your brush is clean, but it's not. It just kind of gets in there. So I kind of get in there and I tap it with the water, and you guys can't really see it, but like there's still like white pigment coming out from the paste. So I just really get it in there. Another option, depending on the brush, is have a little container water and just let it sit at least and soak in the water for a bit if you can't clean it immediately. Otherwise, your brush is done. If you let that paste, any paste really, if you let it dry in a paintbrush, don't expect to ever get your brush back. You might, but just be forewarned. So, even though this is a cheap brush, I like this brush and I would rather take a minute to clean him so that I can use him again with that paste, which I will be using again and again because I really like it. Okay. Brush is good. Forbidden water off to side.
Delicious.
Does the snow tech stuff get brittle and wondered if it would stay on 3D projects? It dries fairly firm. Brittle per se, I couldn't tell you. I honestly add the look and dimension of snow to holiday craft projects. Can be tinted with acrylic paint while wet or painted when dry. Interesting. I would never bother doing that, but depending on the look someone's going for, you totally could. Stir gently. Definitely, yeah, the stirring part. Like, I have read the instructions on this stuff before, but I don't use it. I've noticed that. You can kind of see it's a little more liquidy. So I kind of dig with my brush, but if you're doing a bigger project, whatever, and if regardless of the size of the container, yeah, you could stir it up a bit just to get more, because it does get a little drier, especially when you're using it along the top. So yeah, maybe stir it up a bit, but I just dig in it with my brush and I'm fine. And then what else did they say? Apply with a dabbing motion. Yeah, I already do that. Using brush, sponge, palette knife. Allowed to dry between coats. So you can build this up as well. Like if you really want to go dimensional, you totally can. Indoor use only. Water-based, permanent. Soap and water cleanup. Yep. So, and then you can go to duckwork.com. This stuff's great, you know? So, there we go. Might be seeing things, but I see a tiny white spot on your table. You see that. And that's not a white spot. It's a reflection from something, and I'm not sure what. Something is reflecting right there, and I don't know why. Ooh. Weird. Look at that. Isn't that weird? What's happening? It's not a reflection. But what is it? I have no idea. Come look. Look where my hand is. Like, look on the screen where you see that spot on the monitor. But then look at my desk. There's nothing there. Maybe it's the poltergeist. See? Is that not weird?
Is there a laser coming from somewhere?
I know. I'm like, conspiracy theories. If it was red, I'd be concerned. Like someone's trying to get me. Who knows, y'all?
That's really strange.
We do not know where this is coming from. Weird. Maybe it's the poltergeist. It's something. I don't know, man. I have no idea. Yep. So yeah. Weird. Like, in real life, this is not here. There's nothing here in real life. So it's, I don't know, man. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's add splatter. And there will be flower centers. That'll be at the end. But we're going to do what I love to do, which is, of course, splatter. Is it there when you're not filming? Literally, like it's not here. In real life, that's not here. It's not here. So, interesting. Let's hope it's not like a pixel burning out or something on my camera or potting. I wonder, is there a spot on my lens? You know what, y'all? It could be a speck of splatter on my lens. It's like, here, hi. Who knows? I'm not going to mess with that camera. Y'all, you have no idea how precariously my camera is mounted to my garage ceiling. Zip ties and prayers is basically what's holding that camera up. So we're just going with it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's add splatter. Where's my splatter? It's over here. Got that. There was, oh, and this one. Possibly 2 types of splatter because I'm crazy. Okay. Where's my little apron so I don't get splatter all over me? I can do this very carefully without messing up all my cameras. Because, again, everything is being held up with bird droppings. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe the bird had a little accident and we won't talk about it, okay? Like, we're not going to shame. We do not judge, okay? We will not judge our little birdie because maybe he had an accident on my work surface. Honestly, who knows? Who knows from another dimension? Yeah, you never know. It might be a, what is it called again? The particles?
From Stranger Things?
Like, that actually exist in real life. The exotic matter. There we go. Maybe it's exotic matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't discuss spoilers if people haven't watched part 2 of Stranger Things. But anyway, maybe it's exotic matter. Who knows? Who knows? But we're going to add splatter. So, yeah. There we go. I've got some Positively Perfect White Splatter Medium. We got to stir it up because pigment always settles to the bottom. So we want to stir it up to get this to actually be white again. Because if you just dipped a brush in this without doing any stirring whatsoever, you will not get white splatter. You'll get kind of milky looking weird bird poop. So really, depending on the look you're going for, you know, if we wanted to just emphasize this birdie's incontinence issues, like, whatever floats your boat, man. There would be a time and a place. I could do a card that looked like a bird pooped on it. You know? It happens. It happens. So yeah. Okay. So we stirred it all up. He's all good to go. Wipe off my little silicone doohickey. This is linked. Simon Says released this with their December release. It's silicone and it's got a little spoon and a little special. I like this thing and I kind of want to order more because I was like, this would work great with my little like skincare and stuff because again, it's silicone, so it's easy to clean off. Love it. Love it. Okay. So yeah. So you want to put that, it's linked in the supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention. So he's zoned out again. This is why he's the unpaid intern. Slap your hands. The little silicone, it's down where all the splatter stuff is linked. I remembered to actually link to it because I always forget. And I always forget what it's called, but I think it's just called silicone spatula? Something? I don't know. I forget. It's a handy little thing. Mini spatula and spoon. There we go. Okay. So we're going to add a healthy dose of white splatter. And I'm kind of avoiding the bird, but at the same time, not worried about it. Like, see, getting some splatter on him. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Okay. There was that. And then... Question. Would Chris make a card like Gina's, Tom, and Kathy's Dan? He has, folks. Yeah. You need to search for that. People were asking me about it during Kathy's live last night because some other hubbies were making comments and I was like, hey, mine did it. And they were like, when? And I was like, Christmas Eve. He and I went live. Goodness. I don't remember what I called that. Yeah, you'll have to scroll through the lives down. Was it last Christmas Eve or was it the year before that we did it? I don't remember. He'll search.
I think it was 2 years ago now.
I think it may have been a couple years ago. But yeah, find one on, it would have been Christmas Eve that we posted it. And he'll post the link. But yeah, he sat with me on camera, made a card on a live, And it was fun. Oh, there we are. That's hilarious. Oh, and you were wearing your Christmas. We didn't pull out that Christmas sweater this year. What the heck? Oh. Anyway, he'll post a link to it. We'll have to do it again. This is why I was talking about Kathy doing her live yesterday and the camera setup. Y'all, it's so much work when you have everything set up for one person. You know, my cameras, everything in here is set up for me because I'm a one-woman show. So even trying to just include him, he's not the nightmare. The setup's the nightmare because I was like, it's a nightmare. It's not easy. Like, I have literally space for one pair of knees under my disc. So that's also why I haven't had him on camera again. But we'll figure it out. I'm learning more things and how to like make things work. So yeah. It's fun, but he'll play. I think you already posted the link.
I did, yeah.
Okay. If you save the like video in another tab after the live, I'll post it in the description box below the video because sometimes the chat can just be wonky. I always save the chats. They're supposed to show up after the lives are over, but I don't trust technology. So I'll pop a link to that video because a lot of people have asked about it, and I was like, oh, we've already done that. We did that a couple years ago. It's been forever. It was a fun time because yeah, it was just us that night.
Yep.
That's why we went live. It was just the two of us on Christmas Eve, and we had nothing better to do, so we went live. He made a card with me, and it was fun. So and we gave those cards away.
We did.
And we mailed your card to the winner. So that was fun. We'll have to do it again.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we will. I don't know why we haven't. But
The only reason we haven't is just it's
logistics.
trying to set up, trying to make it work. And again, y'all, like the ceiling in here, because sometimes I get people, like I've had even like tech bros pop onto my videos and try to tell me how I should set up my, you need to like ceiling mount your microphone because it shouldn't be appearing on screen and and all these things. And I was like, dude, one, nobody was asking you. And two, you can't even see my setup. The ceiling in here is like almost 12 feet in the air. And I have a garage door opener. Great big one. It's hanging above my head. Not even joking. Like my camera, I'm not kidding, is attached with like a couple of metal L pieces that I attach with zip ties. It's what it just is. It just is. So it's not easy to move any of these things, like at all. The camera facing me is like on a weird Z arm attached to my one light, sandwiched in between my computer monitor and everything in here is very precarious, which it is what it is. So it just makes it difficult to add another person. So yeah. Doodly doo. Back to what I was doing. But yeah, we will eventually figure it out how to do another card making something or other on camera. Everything's just set up for me, man. So yeah. Okay. Oh, this is black, by the way. Just let's get back to like the actual card making. So this is and I can't turn it on side because I would spill it everywhere, but this is the Positively Perfect black. And it is as you like black. Super black, So I stirred it up carefully. This stuff is similar to black soot in the sense of like it will stain, like it'll stain even like the silicone. I've noticed since I've been playing with this stuff, because I think this came out with the December release. I've used it a couple times and it will stain everything. So it is liquid. I need to be more aware and not distracted. Let me splatter and then we'll get back to chatting. Because this stuff, like, it's strong. But I want to add just a little bit of black splatter. Nothing crazy. Just a bit. Doop, doop, doop. Doop. Just, whoop. I'm okay with that. There. adding. There we go. There we go. Black splatter always freaks people out. Trust me, it's kind of fun. Yeah. Okay. Let's put the lid on before I knock this over. Do you watch Jan Arden's podcast? Because she always says, "Do you believe you?" Oh, does she? That's hilarious. I like Jan Arden. I didn't even know she had a podcast. I don't listen to that many podcasts or like watch that many either. The podcast world is so insanely oversaturated. So insanely oversaturated, and 95% of it all does not need to exist. We don't need to hear mediocre men's opinions. Let's just leave it at that. You know? I prefer the professionals, you know, or ones that are genuine entertainers. Anyway. Yeah. But Jan Arden, love her. So that would be fun. There was something. And 3, you're not my boss. Yeah. Full disclaimer. In fact, full disclaimer. Depending on what the person says, when people like to show up in my comment sections, because it's always in the comment sections, and telling me what to do. Vast majority of it, my immediate knee-jerk reaction is, "You're not my real dad." You know? I would say I have a touch of oppositional defiance disorder, because that's just how I feel. But yeah, it just sometimes it gets a little nuts. Like people telling me how I'm supposed to parent, how I should film my videos, all the things. Anyway, there's that on that. Let's get back to the card. If I had space for a second crafter, I would inevitably fill it up with crafty stuff. Same. But I literally don't have the space. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, I would like to make space. I just haven't figured out how to do that and to have the time to, because everything, it's like you mess with one thing and it's a domino reaction. It's like I mess with one camera, all the cameras now have to be, all those things. So, I would have to cover the bird before I did the box. Like, oh yeah, and you totally could. Especially like, and I've shown that depending on what you're doing. If it's a sentiment or if it's a focal element and you want to add splatter, but you don't want splatter on that specific thing, cover it up. Either you could die cut a scrap with like the body piece of this die. That would be quick and easy. And then just lay it on top. Totally works. Because I've shown that. Or using like a stamp if it's a sentiment. Using the stamp on top of it. Or just the die cut. Those sorts of things. Fully. Or you could leave it off. I thought about leaving the bird off. Doing all my splatter bits. But I knew I wanted to add like some of the florals. You know? So there's totally options. You know? And especially if you are not super comfortable with splatter, you know, and it's just like, I don't want to like ruin the main thing or the sentiment, leave them off, do your thing, and then add them, or protect them with little scraps of paper, what have you, and then you're good. But I don't mind a little bit of splatter on him. But I'm also halfway decent with being able to sort of gauge where it goes, even then it's not fully controlled. So I didn't get like a big splotch, you know, like right on his face. That would have sucked. If that had happened, I probably would have die cut him and, you know, redone him if it was like big old splotch of black, you know? But the little bits, it works. It works. I think you would like her. Oh, I probably would like. Jan Arden's like little bits have popped up on my feed here and there, little like sound clips from her, things like that, and it's just like, yeah. I would love to have 2 big tables to work on. Same. Y'all, my work surface is 8 feet by, is this thing 4 feet deep? 24, 30. No, it's about, I think it's 36 inches. I think it's like it's a great big, huge, like work table. This is all I have is like this filming space. Everything else is fully covered by like tech stuff and supplies. I have a little Galaxy, like I'm covered. I was like, I'll have so much space for activities, you know? Nope. It all just gets consolidated. Always. Always. No matter what I do. Okay. That little guy. I know. Isn't he adorable? We love him. He's so cute. He's so cute. But yes, in a perfect world, I would actually like to have two big works. You know, one right behind me, fully. That was always my original plan. Behind me is full. Full of things. I clear off a space. It takes me all of a day to have like 15 more things piled on top of it. That's what I spend all my free time on, is like making space, clearing areas, clearing a path, and then it's full. I move things from one spot to another. It's just, that's all I waste my time on. It's ridiculous. Okay. We have this. The splatter, the big blotches need to dry. We need to, sentiment. Yes, sentiment. So we'll set him over here. We are going to heat emboss this guy onto Desert Storm cardstock. Let me do that while I'm yapping away. I have two big tables connected together. I was supposed to have all that space. People, the more space we have, the more stuff we'll have on it. 100%. Yep.
Induced demand.
Yep. Always. I've been thinking, I was like, oh, it'd be awesome. And also like like I said, this work table, I got it from, it's like Global Industrial. It is meant for, like construction type stuff. Like it is this huge hardwood top. This thing weighs over 300 pounds. It took all me, the unpaid intern, and my adult kids when it got here to lift it once I attached the metal legs to it and stuff. Because it's so heavy. It's so heavy. It is insane. But I got it because I was like, oh, this isn't going to move on my slanted, but it's shimmed up and stuff on this slanted garage floor. And I was like, this will stay sturdy while I'm filming an ink blending. Nope. I should have just kept my little crappy IKEA tables. Actually, I still have them. Well, a couple of them. The rest got damaged when things flooded in here. But anyway. Yeah. And then I was like, I'd like another one of these. But again, this thing weighed a fortune. And I don't even want to know how much the price of it is now. It was expensive back then, but that was many years ago. So yeah. Anywho. Anti-static powder tool. This helps keep the embossing powder from clinging to anything other than your stamped image. And then what do you do with outdated stamps and supplies? I destash. I haven't done one in a really long time, and I will not be doing one publicly because I can't ship outside of Canada. Or I won't do that anymore. It's too expensive and too much of I don't have the time. And the sentiment for this is from the Swiss Dots. The Swiss Dot set. So we're just going to white heat emboss him onto here. I suffer from the same move it to another place syndrome. Literally all I do. All the time. Like, move one pile of things to another. So how would you make this into a Valentine's Day card? No pine needles? Oh. It could be a Valentine's Day. If I wanted this to be specifically Valentine's Day, if you're in a different climate that's not like fully winter on Valentine's Day, which here it is fully winter. There is snow. We will have snow on the ground until May. So this, totally Valentine appropriate, in my opinion. So I would just put a little like, love you, Valentine's. Slap that on there. Add a couple more hearts maybe. That's it. If you wanted it not so winter, I would just leave off the snowflakes. Maybe do a different embossing folder. Well, florals. Simon Says Stamp has 5 bajillion patterns. They have so many. choose any. There's a million. So a different embossing folder. But you could keep the pine sprigs, really. Pine sprigs are pine sprigs, you know? You could skip also, if you don't want that frosted effect, like the snowy effect, you could skip the paste. I like it, but you could skip it. But you could still keep basically everything. Just change out the snowflakes and maybe not add the paste, but add the splatter and all the things. And then just add like, I love you. I'm kind of like sort of Valentine-y with this, but it isn't like strictly Valentine. That's what I would do though. I wasn't the fence with splatter. Oh yeah, splatter isn't for everyone, you know? Um and I say that. It's not. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. The only reason I'm so petty about it is because someone decided to be extremely rude, not just towards me, but to card makers in general, and went after smaller creators. There was a whole thing that happened a while ago, and it was what it was, but it was just unhinged. And then some of my fabulous audience sent me things like the magnet, which we pull out because I'm petty. And then Geraldine had this mug made for me, which I showed. And I keep all my brushes in. And I love it. I love it. So he sits up. He's also like precariously in between my camera and my monitor. So I have to be careful when I show him on camera so that I don't knock things over. But that aside, the pettiness and drama aside, splatter doesn't have to be for everyone. Just like certain color combos don't have to be for everyone. Certain themes, certain types of stamps, certain techniques, etc., 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 etc. It does not have to be someone's style, someone's personality. Hey, hi, me. Not for everyone. I am not everyone's cup of tea. And that's okay. It would genuinely be so boring if we were all the same and we all like the same things. And we were all just a bunch of lemmings where it's like, you know, just same. And you like log onto YouTube to like learn something or to see something. And we're all doing the exact same thing with the exact same things in the exact same way. So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But I do encourage people if you're splatter curious. I need to stop watching South Park. Every time I say that, I think about that episode with Cartman where he's bike curious. The Harley episode. If you're splatter curious, dive into it. It's intimidating. It is. It's like the watercolor, and I talk about that too. It's because it's something that's a lot harder to master, and in splatter you don't fully master it. It has a mind of its own, and it likes to get everywhere. I have like a little glint of gold splatter on the rim of my face camera. It always catches my eye. Splatter goes where it wants to go. It does what it wants to do, but it's fun. So for those that are curious, it's fun to dive into. But for those that are just like, nope. And I get those really petty comments at times. It's like, you lost me at splatter. And it's like, okay, bye. You know, this isn't an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Like, if it's not for you, that's great. That's great. So there's my TED talk as usual on splatter. Bird dyes. Yeah, I know. And the funny thing is with bird dyes, and I've talked about this, I avoided birds. But it's true. Stamps, dyes, all of it. I avoided it for years. I had a weird hang up about it. I don't really know why. I don't know why I overthought it so much, but it was like, I don't know nothing about birds, so I can't use them. I know. It's kind of ridiculous. And then I started putting a bird on it, and it's like, who cares? It doesn't need to be accurate. It's paper. You know? Like, the colors don't have to be accurate. It doesn't need to be like, this is a northwestern A fig bird. I don't even know the names of most birds. I was like, that's a bird. Cool. There's my thoughts. Anyway, back to the card. Let's let's heat emboss. So, back to I'm chatty today. Good lord. And petty. But I'm petty all the time. That never goes away. So, we's inking him up. I'd already used my anti-static powder tool. Stamped them with the clear embossing ink. You could also use the white pigment ink, whatever floats your boat. Just a slow drying ink, that's all that matters. And then coating with white embossing powder. There's a random, is that a piece of cardstock? That almost looks like one of the unpaid intern's beard hairs. I'm not even kidding. I think, no, it might be just a sliver of cardstock. It could be my hair, it could be his hair. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't, end up getting fused onto my card. Tap off the excess. There we go. And then we just got to melt this with heat tool. So we're gonna plug that in, and there we go. I'm such a bird nerd. I get hung up on making them real species. And that's awesome. I love that too. Because again, there's not really rules. And for the ones that do fully, know their birds or know their florals or whatever it is, and then that's what they want to do on their own creations. It's like make it look realistic and accurate. That's cool. Like, no shame in that at all. Just if you don't want to, don't. Who cares? It's just paper. It's just paper. Okay. It's spring when the bluebirds show up. I know, right? See, and the funny thing is I still need to use. I've die cut it. I haven't done the video yet for it. Using Altany would come out with a Blue Jay style die set, and I had a lot of requests for that one. Hopefully in the near-ish future. But what I learned, I didn't even realize that we get Blue Jays up here. I did not know that. And people were posting it when the Blue Jays were at the World Series. Was that what they were doing? Go sports. I don't watch sports. I have no clue. I'm like, yay, score that touchdown with baseball. I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, so the Blue Jays were at the World Series. That's what was going on. So everyone was posting. So it was coming across my feed. And someone somewhat locally was posting photos of Blue Jays in their backyard. And I was like, I did not know we had those here. That's really cool. I've never seen one in the wild. I would probably lose my mind. Okay, I need to die cut this. So yeah, I think we just need to get peanuts to put in the backyard to attract them, because I know they like peanuts. That's what the person's photo had that had the photos of the Blue Jays in their backyard. We have Blue Jays all winter long. Yeah, over in Eastern Canada, I know they're much more, they're all over the place. But I did not know that they were around here too. I've literally never seen one in my entire life. And that would be really cool. So now I'm just in the spring, we need to put out peanuts and things that would attract the Blue Jays, because I think that'd be really cool. So I'm going to die cut this with its coordinating little wafer die. And then, yes, peanuts. Yeah, Blue Jays like peanuts. Yep. That's cool.
Them and squirrels have so much in common.
I believe it. So there's my sentiment. I'm going to die cut sort of the remainder of this a couple times to build up a little bit more dimension for this. So we got that. And peanuts also attract squirrels.
They do.
Yep. Do we get squirrels around here, though? I don't know if we get...
there's too many cats running around.
Well, there's too many cats, but I don't... Do we actually get squirrels around here, though? Because we get little prairie dogs and whatever else. But I don't know if we get actual squirrels. Didn't we... What did we see at the city that one day when we were on the university campus? Wasn't it squirrels?
Yeah, there's plenty down there.
Yeah, yeah. We wouldn't see them around here very much because we've got a lot of like stray cats. There's a bunch of foxes, coyotes, lots of coyotes around here. So yeah, some of the little creatures, you just don't see them around here because they get taken out. So yeah. Lots of blue jay. Unsalted shelled peanuts. Yeah, like many woodpecker species. Yeah, unsalted peanuts. Blue jays are a-holes. They're beautiful but mean. I've heard that. That doesn't surprise me.
One of those
that
red-winged warblers were dive bombing.
Oh yeah, the red-winged blackbirds.
Yeah.
Yes. We get little blackbirds around, lots of blackbirds around here. And we get the ones with the yellow tips on their wings. And then there's ones that have the little bit of red on them. And the red ones are evil. There's one all summer. We have a walking path near our house. And there's like, light posts along the walking path. And then a few like kind of taller trees. And this was happening though also. He was being protective, so we understood. Because there's a little sort of pond here. They call them lakes, but they're not lakes. They're ponds. And the females would build their nests in the cattails and things because we were able, and I got photos. Oh, I got photos. I don't know if I'll be able to like find them. Because we could hear them the one day, all the little babies. So we were able to get close. We took a photo and then we backed off because we didn't want to scare the poor mom, but she was like mad. So we were like, nope, sorry. We just wanted to see. I wonder if I can find that photo. We were able to snap a photo. But anyway, there was a blackbird that he would sit on the very top of the light post. And he would watch us coming. And we would, every day. And he would do it to other people too. But he would wait. And he would wait till we would walk past. So not while we were like facing him. But until he was behind us. And then he would dive bomb our heads like clockwork. He was the worst. And it was so ridiculous. And it happened every single day. And Chris, because of where his little office space is upstairs, he has a window that faces that. And you could just hear him howling some days, laughing because he would see other people get caught by this bird. And he was just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so here's their little nest. And this is right along the water. There's like little cattails, and they build it right there. Like it's like the safest spot for them. And if I zoom in, that right there, that's a little baby. So they were yelling because they were hungry. And they were so cute and so tiny. Let's see if I can, do I have a better... It was very hard because I like grabbed my phone, snapped a couple pics, and then we quickly backed off because I wasn't going to harass the poor things. Yeah. But yeah, they build their little nests like right in there, right next to the water. And then, yeah, when I zoom in, you can see there's that little baby. So, isn't that fun? So, yeah, that bird was a menace. And he kept that up long after, like, the babies had grown and flown off, everything else. He loved it. You could tell that bird. He just loved it. Because he'd sit there and Chris would always be eyeing him as we'd come around down the pathway. And Chris would just be eyeing that bird. The bird would just be like, they would just be like staring at each other, And nothing would happen until we got past. And then you would hear him. The bird would swoop and like flick the backs of our heads. So yeah, it was funny. It was funny. This is a precision glue press. It's linked in the supplies, and I did a video review on it. Was that earlier this year? Is that when it came? Was it this year or was it last year? I forget how long ago this thing has been out. Someone off remind me. And of course he probably had to go to the bathroom. The unpaid intern left, but I can get him to link that video in the chat now that he's coming back to do his job. Can you look up, search under my videos, just type in precision. It'll probably be the one that'll be the first one that'll pop up. Precision. Precision. So we're stacking these together to give it a little bit of, you know. Yeah, the precision glue press review video, put that in the chat. Yeah, I did a video on it. Love this thing. So yeah, because I have hand issues, and this thing has been a game changer for me because I do this as a job, so I'm gluing every single day. And at the end of the day, sometimes like just squeezing regular bottles of glue and stuff, my hands would ache. Okay, so we've got our sentiment. Love it. Love it. Kind of tuck it in like that. Yes, I need just a smidge of foam tape. We had squirrels who threw acorns at us when we went to get in cars. Sometimes animals are such ridiculous creatures. I get such a kick out of it. Like, sometimes animals can be so derpy and dumb, and I love that too. And then other times they can be so incredibly brilliant, and it's just like, and sometimes it's the same animal, you know? Our old dog was dumb as a brick. And every once in a while, though, brilliant, beyond brilliant. It was so hilarious at times. Doodly-doo. Great horned owls. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard owls in many years. When I was a kid and lived on an acreage, every once in a while you could hear one. Or when I would stay at my one grandparents on the farm, we would hear the owls at night. It's such a cool sound.
Sure.
When they're hooting at night. Okay. There we go. That evens that out. That little bit will even out the dimension there. Okay. With rheumatoid arthritis in my hands, I may have to get... Yes, I have family history of arthritis, and I do everything in my power to hopefully prevent it for as long as possible. And I also have like borderline carpal tunnel, and same thing. I do everything in my power to try and mitigate that because it sucks. And I need my hands to do my job. So yeah. Okay. So we've got that. We've got our sentiment. Like so. Just let them sit. Here, I'll just put a magnet. I need a card base. The blue jays used to swoop down and pick the thick fur from my dog for the nest. Yeah, I've heard of birds doing that. Dogs that have like a thick undercoat and birds like literally swooping down and picking it from them, like direct from the source. Birds are such jerks sometimes. I know I've seen how some people, when they groom their dogs or their cats that have like just a lot of that undercoat, afterwards like spreading it out in their yard for the birds. Because yeah, they use it to like line their nests because it's soft and fluffy. It's perfect. So I always get a kick out of that. Okay, so there we go. So we got that. Great horned owls are nesting along with the bald eagles right now in the southeast. I believe it. I believe it. Uh, we get eagles around here. I also did not know. I have never seen an eagle here. I've seen them when I was on Vancouver Island many, many years ago, but the one day my kids came home and they're like, "We saw eagles." And I was like, "You're silly. That wasn't an eagle, honey. That was a hawk. Like, we don't have eagles here." Oh, yeah, no, they had the video evidence to prove it. And I was like, "Oh." And I had to look it up and I was like, "Oh, we do have eagles in Saskatchewan." And there was a, like, I don't know, what is a group of eagles called? Is it just a flock?
I guess, yeah.
Well, there's always different things, like how it's a murder of crows, you know, that kind of stuff. What is a group of eagles called?
Colin.
A what?
A convocation?
Is it a convocation? They always have different words. It's always so weird. Like, I love a murder of crows. That one just, you know, I was like, yep. Okay. We're going to do that.
Yeah,
And,
convocation or so on.
oh, well, whatever. It was a group of eagles. Whatever. Anyway, we're going to stamp a sentiment on the inside of my card. I'm like all over the place. What do I want to just stamp it in black? Yeah, I'll just stamp it in black. We'll keep the inside simple. We'll just go like that. Yep. And then we'll stamp it with the black ink. Like so. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that sentiment was also from that same Swiss Dots set. And that goes back there. There we go. Okay. Yeah, group of eagles is a soar or a convocation. It's all interesting, you know. I'm gonna quickly just hit this with my heat tool because I'm using the VersaFine Clair, which is like an oil-based ink, and yeah, usually I just let it sit for a bit because sometimes it can transfer to the inside front of the card. So I'll just blast it with my heat tool. Okay, that'll be enough. That'll be enough. I visited a hummingbird nest every day and she got used to me and so did her babies. One of the babies actually sat on my finger. Oh, I would cry. I would be so happy. I love hummingbirds. We see them rarely. I've seen them in my backyard like once, maybe twice in all the years we've lived here. Again, though, we have people in our area that let their cats roam free, including our one neighbor. So yeah, I purposely don't put out bird feeders or anything like that because one of the neighborhood cats has like a method of getting up on the fences and so yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to just attract lunch for the neighborhood cats. That's literally all would happen if I put out like bird feed, really. Putting some out for something like blue jays, though, I wouldn't be as concerned because I don't think a blue jay would be susceptible to a neighborhood cat. You know, I think they'd move fast, you know, like, because blue jays, they're jerks. But yeah. So there's our card base, which is an A2 card base, 4¼ by 5½ inches. And then we're just going to glue the card front to the card base. And what I had said earlier about cutting down this card front so that the base frames it up a little bit and gives it that little extra something. I almost thought I would have to cut this off just so it would fit in an envelope, but because I didn't glue it down fully, I think I'll be able to just like, derp, when I put it in the envelope, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Okay. Let's get that adhered. Like so. Blue jays, dive bomb cats. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think the blue jays would be too much of a concern. Other birds, a little more susceptible. But yeah. And we need a bit of bling from the flower centers. And then while I'm doing that, the unpaid intern can pick a winner for this card. I need my Kathy Zielski boop dish. There we go. Doop. And then we'll use, these are Simon's Positively Dazzling Gold. Yeah. Embellishments. We need that. So we'll use some of these. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. So we'll use these as flower centers. I've had blue jays try to attack me. Oh yeah, certain birds are more like that, but especially when they're nesting. But certain birds like swallows. Swallows are awful because they like to build their nests. They love to build their nests on like window frames. And when I was a kid living on an acreage, that's what they would do, and they would dive bomb. Like there was they were relentless. Swallows are awful. Like we would have to run constantly, like inside or run outside to the vehicle to avoid getting like fully attacked by them. So yeah, I could see blue jays doing the same thing. Where'd you get that dish from? Oh, I didn't link to it, but I can add the link and he can put it in chat, and then I'll add it after the live is over, because that is the one thing I did forget to link. Do you think you can get to it before I can? He did. Oh, look at the unpaid intern. You're never this fast. He's on the ball. Probably because I was being insulting earlier. I guess so. That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Kathy Zielski boop dish. Okay. Doodly doo. Oh, can you post the Christmas Eve video again in the chat? The one of you and I crafting, because I will put it again for those that are watching randomly. I will remember to put it in the description box. When this is over, I'll edit it and add that, and I'll add whatever other random links that I need to add. So we're just adding the little bits of glue, and then flip over my little guys here. I want to do that. So yeah, I do want to do that size of one. And then I'll do a little one for this one. Boop. Like that. And oh, we need a little one for this one. Right there. Like so. Doop, doop, doop. And then I'll tuck one in. Right there. I'll probably just use a little one for this, because there's not a whole lot of wiggle room right there. Just kind of shove them in there. There we go. And then that guy, I think I can fit one under there. Even though you can't overly see it, but really when all is said and done. So if I just zhuzh that, and then get this guy, no, keep up there, yep, okay, yeah, that works, ha. Just kind of tuck that in like that, and then there we go, and then I can add a couple more little bits. The intern is on it. Yeah, that's kind of a first. Usually I'm like nattering at him and he's like, "Rrr," and then I'm like, let's see who can get to it first. And it's usually me.
Usually.
Yeah.
You get a head start though.
Yeah, well, and I know exactly what I'm looking for, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, he's paying attention. Everything's great. Everything's great. We'll add a few more little bits of bling just because we can, you know? Do that one, and then let's add, could add one like a couple up here. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, let's add a couple more. How do you keep your glue gun from clogging up? Oh, if you weren't watching when I first started using it today, I did. He's always clogged. I keep pins on my desk. Another lovely subscriber. Evelyn made this for me many years ago. I've shown him many times in lives. She made this little pin cushion for me, and he actually has coffee beans in the base and then like stuffing in the top, but she's got coffee beans in the base of him and then probably chipboard or something in the bottom. And he still, even after all these, she sent me this years ago, and he still, when I like go like this, still smell the coffee. Love it. So yeah, he's got coffee beans in him and then random pins. And for some reason, I don't know why I have this here, but whatever. But yeah, I keep pins on my desk and I use it to unclog my glue because do I ever put the lid on this thing? Pretty much no. So he clogs, even though, you know, you are supposed to keep this, like always make sure that it's sitting, and I talked about this in the video, in the review video, but like that the tip is like flush with the little silicone stopper there. But even then, my glue clogs all the time. Don't care. Every single device I've ever used with glue clogs. I don't care. I just use a pin, unclog it, go on about my day. So, okay, is this everything? I think this was, yeah, the card is complete. Let me put my bling back before I flip this tray over, because been there, done that. Been there, done that. Okay, there we go. And then if I move some things out of the way, we can zoom in a little bit. If I can, there we go. Let's zoom in on our finished card. Got texture. Remember, we stamped the background with the Swiss dots, which is, again, very subtle. It's very subtle, but it's there. You know, you can see all little dots. And then the snowflake embossing folder. And then our little die cut and the little music notes and the little heart and the greenery and the bird and the sentiment and the white paste and the splatter and the... yeah. Yeah. And then just kept the inside super, super simple. Just like so. And then if I switch to doodly doodly doo, there we go. There we go. Okay, who am I sending this card to?
We have a local winner, Vicky, actually in Saskatchewan here.
Vicky in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hoping to do a mail out soon. I keep saying like, I'll do it this week. And things have just kept happening and I keep forgetting. So I do plan on mailing out all of my live stream card winners soon. Soon. And it'll be delayed because with New Year's happening this week, the post office will be closed and, you know, there will be no movement anyway. So it'll be soon. I am going to get caught up. I still have a million. I haven't even mailed out my holiday cards. I made so many this year. Haven't mailed them yet. Gotta get on that. I will be. Everyone just kind of, I think at this point, is used to getting belated everything from me. Belated Merry Christmas, belated birthday, you know? It is what it is. That is what it is. But yeah, this was fun. This is fun. And the chaos in my head translated into a card. And I'm very glad, because I didn't want to cry on camera again. Well, it'll happen, I'm sure.
2026 for that.
Yeah, there's 2026. There will be, I'm sure, some random meltdown on camera. So many of my live streams of me crying. It is what it is. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you to the disembodied hand.
Yep. Who moderates a live every week?
Yeah, who moderates my lives for me. It helps. And I appreciate it. And yeah, no promises for when we'll get him on camera to make a card with me again.
It'll be sometime.
We'll do it. It's just logistics. Because he has no problem doing it because we've done it. It's fun. I will add, in fact, I'm going to write that down right now because I'm going to forget. Where's my pen? I'll add the link to that old live stream. He put it in the chat a couple times, but I'll put the link to that old live stream where he sat and made a card with me on camera for the first time.
You can see how unsteady my hands are in that video.
Link to, I'll just put Xmas live stream because it was the Christmas one. In description box. Hello pen work. Descript. Oh, there we go. I'm sure I can hopefully understand that mess. So yeah. There are times I look at some of my random sticky notes and I was like, what was I on? What does this mean? You know, got to write notes myself because I'm going to forget. And yeah, I will have many videos coming this week, barring any sort of chaos. But there'll be still some more holiday themed because I'm still making them. I was saying that earlier. I'm still making them. I still have ideas. This could have been a holiday card. Totally. Just switch out the sentiment. Yeah. Works as far as I'm concerned. Could be a Valentine's card. Could have been a birthday card. Really. You know, do whatever works for you. Yeah. If I really wanted to make it hardcore Valentine's, I would just, change the sentiment and maybe add a few more little pink hearts just to really, but I would keep everything the same because unlike some of y'all that live in much milder climates, Valentine's is in the dead of winter. Like it is, in fact, January and February are rotten usually here. I'm not expecting any decent weather. Like
that one time we went to the James on Valentine's Day.
Was it around Valentine's? Yeah. Yes, and it was cold. Yeah, it's winter. Yeah, it's winter. It stays winter here till like usually we have snow on the ground till almost May, sometimes into May. Sometimes we get blizzards in May. It's so fun. Love it for us. But yeah, I'm gonna have videos coming. We'll be live again on Sunday. We go live 2 p.m. Central on Sundays.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Yep. And yeah, I passed 95,000 subscribers. We talked about that last week.
Hooray.
Haven't done a giveaway or anything to celebrate. I will think about it. I haven't had time to think. It's been crazy. And I was right. I've lost many.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Every time it's like clockwork. I don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm not too concerned. And then I will I'm just making sure I didn't miss any questions. I don't actually get in the mood for Christmas until February. Oh, and I get that. I'm usually like that too. Like I am generally, it's like once the actual holiday has like come and gone, I'm done. I'm just like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do it. You know, I'm just done. This year, I'm still in the mood and I've got a couple different projects planned already. Like I have the products set out. I have my little piles because I can't keep a clean surface to save my life. And so I'll have more holiday cards, non-holiday cards, all kinds of things. And then we'll go live and we'll do something eventually to celebrate the whole 95,000 subscriber thing because that is a pretty massive milestone for me. It is, as one of the children said, actually impressive.
Yeah, that made me laugh, that line. That's actually impressive.
I'm actually impressed. I was like, thanks. Oh, so funny. So funny. That one just,
Did you get recognized in Michael's this time? Last time we were there?
That's right. Yeah, well, I was in like getting embroidery floss and just kind of keeping to myself. It's not very often I get recognized. It's a very odd thing. I get asked about that, like, has it happened? It's happened a couple times
Yep.
that I've been recognized in public, and it's very weird for me because
It
it's
was
just like I'm a nobody.
it was funny when the one local lady knew who you were before the wife of the nosy guy with the
Oh
dog.
yeah, when we met
Yeah.
someone nearby. Yeah, just out in the blue, and they were introducing themselves, and she just looked at me and she's like, "I know who you are," and I was like, "I didn't do nothing," and she was just like, "No," she's like, "I know who you are. I've seen your videos." I was like, "Oh, oh, weird.
Yeah.
It's weird."
That was the first experience for me. And
Yeah,
it,
hit
like, threw me
threw
off a bit.
him off completely, and I was like, "I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing." Anyway, it's funny. Um, Nothing like a kid to put you in your place with one innocent comment. Oh, it made me laugh. It's actually impressive. Yeah, we throw that back at each other, and I'm just like, I'm actually a big deal, you know? That would be very awkward. Oh, it's awkward for me. It's only happened like out in the wild, literally like 3, 4 times, something. Not very many times, and every time it has been. I am very awkward in real life, y'all. Like right now, I'm sitting here alone, basically talking to a camera. I disassociate, and it's just like this is all fake. None of this is real. I, you know,
It's a
it
video
is.
game.
Yeah, it's a video game basically. It's very it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing,
It's
you
strange
know?
about being personal and
Um
impersonal at the same time, almost kind of thing. Because you're
yeah.
talking to so many people, but I wonder if this is how like news anchors kind of feel about it.
It's different though for people that have those kind of jobs that are like news anchors or have public facing jobs, talking to the public. You know, news anchors, radio hosts, like those types of
Sure.
people. That's what you do. You interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you do it behind a camera or a microphone, it's like you're still actually interacting. So then getting recognized. But for me, it's just like I make cards in my garage on the internet. You know, it's just, and I'm a nobody. I am, and the couple times I've been recognized in public, it just I don't. It's like I don't know. I'm totally Will Ferrell. I'm like I don't know what to do with my hands, and I'm like I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. Um. So yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny, but it's still cool. Everyone has always been like super awesome. And then the couple of events I've gone to in my lifetime, you know, and actually meeting fellow crafters, best people. It's super fun. It's very overwhelming. I have a hard time because again, I'm sitting here alone talking to myself basically. But yeah, I am um I'd be hesitant to approach you if I ever saw you in the wild because you've talked about how you have social anxiety. I would just look at you. Honestly, if a person, if one of y'all sees me in the wild, as long as I'm not having like, I don't know, some sort of existential crisis, because that could be happening, you know?
You're already in mid meltdown.
Yeah, if I'm in the middle of a meltdown, just, yeah, keep your distance. Because that has literally happened. But no, it's totally okay. There was one person that was looking at, like, they were looking at me funny. And what was funny about it was I noticed it and I mentioned it to him because he and I were out. This was a couple years ago, whatever. And I'd mentioned it to him, and I was just like, it was odd. And I just, you know, and then I was live on like my Facebook page that night or something, and I mentioned it, and the person was on there, and
Yeah.
she was like, "That was me," and she's like, "I was too shy to come up," and I was like, "Oh, you totally could." And the funny thing was, is I ended up actually running into her again at a different store a few months later, something. And then she actually came up and introduced herself, and that was great. And what was funny though is she introduced herself, and there was another employee that was when we were at like Home Goods or something.
Oh.
And the employee was like looking, like she was giving this
Yes.
other random
I
like
remember
stranger was giving us the weird. She was just like, "Who is this chick?" Kind of a look. It was hilarious, and I was like, I looked like something the cat dragged in on top. It was the middle of winter.
Yeah,
I had
it
my
was.
toque on. I was sweating. It was but it was fine. It was fine. It was totally fine. It was, yeah.
That was such
Yeah.
a weird story.
So if someone ever did, if one of my peoples, if you guys ever saw me out in the wild, you can totally come up, you know, as long as I'm not, you know, in the middle of a psychotic meltdown.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since I've had one of those in public. I have them at home all the time. But yeah, no. Card makers are good people, you know? I couldn't imagine what it's like for actual celebrities or people with, you know, massive audiences. That could get weird, you know? I could never go up to like a celebrity ever. I don't think I could. I would be too shy and embarrassed. But like if it was like a fellow card maker, if I saw one of them in the wild, I would totally go up to them and be like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Hey," and I actually have. I've done that.
Yeah.
And I had one that she was just like, we talked for a while, and she was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Honey, we have worked together on design teams, but the impersonalness of cameras and technology and all the things, that one was funny." We had a good time. It was a good time, y'all. So anyway, um, I have to warn you that I have RBF and it's not DirectD. Oh, so do I. I have RBF hardcore. I look miserable all the time. That just is the way I am. Um, and it's all good. It's all good. So yeah. But yeah, we passed 95,000. We'll see how long it takes to get to 100K. It's slow and steady, and I'm okay with that too. I don't I don't post the type of content that would massively spur growth. That's the other thing I get so much like offers for. I get email offers and all this kind of stuff of like people that call themselves professionals with SEO, like search engine optimization and like ways. And like my favorite ones are the ones that email me telling me literally like your thumbnails are crap. Let me do them for you and like pay these people to edit my videos and do my thumbnails and, you know, more professional, aka like clickbait, all that kind of stuff. It's like, one, can't afford any of that. I don't make that kind of money. Two, that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want just a bunch of random stuff. I like the audience I have, you know? And we will grow slow and steady. And I'm okay with it. But just like Kathy Zilski said the one day, she's like, we both kind of agreed that when we do get to that 100K, because you get the plaque from YouTube when you get the 100K, it's like going to drill a hole in that thing and like hang it like a big old piece of bling and just wear that. I'll have it displayed prominently, you know, when the time comes, because it's a big milestone and I can't imagine. Will Chris make another card at 100K? Oh, 100%. When I hit that, I don't expect it to happen for years, but who knows? Maybe it'll happen sooner. And if it does, he will 100%, um, he will 100% sit down on camera with me. It'll happen. And that would probably spur me on to actually like make it work. Doodly doo. Why, yes, you just, you just insulted my content. Let me hire you post haste. I know. I get some of the most bizarre offers, y'all. Like, when I mentioned at the beginning about my email inbox, eh, it's just luck of the draw whether I see people's emails sometimes, because I have to weed through so much insanity because I get, and a lot of it is ridiculous offers or requests to partner with the most insane product site, just garbage. 99.9% of it is garbage. They cast a wide net and it's annoying. And I delete most of it. I don't even respond to any of the offers because they're stupid. They honestly are stupid, especially when they title their emails like "Hi Prairie," like they don't even know my name. And I'm like, right there. If you haven't taken the time, the 20 seconds it would take to click on my actual website, anything, I'm not even going to engage. But yeah, I could advertise so much crap to my audience and I refuse to do it because No one needs that. I just Yep. Yep. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. But the big one is, yeah, constant offers to, like, micromanage me. If I would pay so-and-so to make my thumbnails, to increase my audience and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, I'm happy with my thumbnails. Are they the greatest? No. Is my photography the great? Oh, heck no. I've talked about that. My card photography, not good. I need to work on it. I am well aware. It's always on my to-do list, especially this time of year. I'm always like, yeah, this New Year's coming. I'm gonna improve my photography skills. Does it ever happen? No, no. It is what it is. So yeah, my photography is not the greatest. My thumbnails, I make them myself. It took me forever just to learn how to add a picture of my mug to, stick my face on my thumbnails. And even that, it's like, it is what it is. Anyway, I enjoyed chatting with you guys. I will be back with more videos. Definitely doing the live again on Sunday at 2. Not sure right now if I'm gonna do another, like, a bonus live. I talked about it. I think it was last Sunday. I always say, like, I might do bonus lives. Um, I will at some point. I just don't know when. Do a live where I'm just sitting and we can just chat. Because I need to label all of my distress products because I got all the labels, of course. The package did get here. I haven't even, but things like that where we can just, like, sit and chat and hang out and just talk and whatever's, and I get things done. We'll see. Not sure if I will do that this week because I have a lot of other things I need to deal with. And I think highly polished social media content is losing some of its shine. I think it just depends on the person, you know? Um yeah. It's all just it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody, and yeah, everyone's got their sort of thing. And I am very aware. I am very aware of where I'm at with all the things. And I have very much embraced the fact that I am a chaotic mess. I fly by the seat of my pants. I am very not organized, even though I love to organize. I'm very not organized in any way, shape, or form. I am chaos incarnate. And I'm a one-woman show. Because the unpaid intern, he's not even in here. He's long gone. He helps out a little bit just during my Sunday lives, and the only reason he does that is because when I started doing the live streams consistently, I was getting hit hard with a lot of trolling. It was bad, like, bad, to the point where he stepped in to help moderate, and we've weeded them out. Everything's been good. It's been really good. But yeah, he works full time, so yeah, it's just me, and it's chaos, and we'll figure it out. Can we have a chat where we all organize and clean our craft rooms? Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, you know? Um, that's what I kind of hope to do more of. Just chill. Chill. I can be live, we can chat, and nothing set in stone, And those aren't for everyone either, and I get that. Every time I do those types of lives, some people get very upset with me over it because they're just like, you're not making anything, like, as if I'm wasting their time. And it's like, no, this is not the live for you. Like, totally okay. It's all good. But yeah, I am well aware of the things. And then there's things I do want to improve on because this is my job and I should improve on. Always grow and improve. I did it with the side camera. I'm learning things. I'm learning things, and I'm going to keep learning more things, and one little bit at a time. But yeah, we'll get there. And you're like, yeah, we will do a distress labeling live soon. Maybe this week. I'm just not making promises right now because I need to I need to sit down and kind of figure a few things out because I've got a lot coming up over the next uh like going into the new year because I've got a few things I need to get done before the official end of the year. So I'll have a couple videos coming. And then I've got stuff like there's some new releases early January with the brands I work with. Um that's soon. That's coming very soon. And I was like, I have like blog hops and video hops and things I need to like get work done for. And yeah, I'm part of a class. I already announced that. That's listed in my sales page. That's where I put it. I was like, where did I put that? Which is linked below. So if you're on my sales page, it's near the top. I'm doing a live with Altanu. Yes. Middle-ish, endish of January. So it's a class setup and I'm doing a bonus live for them. So I'm doing that and there's other things coming too. Fun things. So many fun things. Organizing, purging my craft room is one of my 2026 crafty goals. Same. Same. Yeah. Doodly doo. Yep. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot. There's so many things. My to-do list is never ending and I got a billion things, but we're figuring it out. And this year's almost over and if you don't see my face again till next week's live, I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's. I will have videos between now and New Year's. At least 2 or 3. Because New Year's Eve is Wednesday, right? What is today? 28th? Yeah, New Year's Eve is Wednesday. I was like, what day is it? What day is it? It's Sunday. I will have at least a couple more videos. Those will be pre-recorded, edited, not as talky as something like this. Couple more videos at least, possibly 1 or 2 more. And then we get into the new year, which next Sunday is the 3rd. Goodness. That's going to be crazy. So yeah, I have no idea what else is going to happen this week. I've got a bajillion things on my plate and I got to figure things out and I got to like wade through my emails cuz it's a mess and I have deadlines. I have deadlines and things I need to do. So, I will be working on those. I'll do my photos, my not the greatest photos cuz it is what it is. I'm fine with it. I'll work on it. But I'll do my photos for this card and for all my socials and I'll do the blog post with the visual links, all the things like I always do. I will do that. And then yeah, I will edit my description box cuz I'll add the link to that live stream I did with the unpaid intern where he made a card with me. I'll add that for those that are watching on the replay and want to check it out because it's in the chat, but obviously you can't scroll properly through the live chat. That's annoying. I wish you kind of could, but yeah. Anyway, I'll add it to the description box to make life a little simpler. And yeah, I appreciate all of you. You guys are the best. And I like chatting with you. I like chatting to my pretend friends that hide behind the camera, you know? And yeah, this turned out, I'm very happy with it. I love it. Can't go wrong with a little bird. It's next Sunday. Oh, I was looking at Saturday. Sorry. Sunday's the 4th. Great. That gives me 1 extra day. I was looking at my calendar wrong. I was looking at Saturday. Sunday's the 4th. That's actually even better because I just gained an extra day for this week. And I need it because I'm not even kidding, a million things that I need to do. Yeah. Yep. It's chaos. It's crafty chaos, y'all. So I'm going to get to it. I'll do that. I got some editing to do. Videos coming. There will be more holiday videos, at least a couple. And then I will start the 2026 holiday card series will start in January at some point. It'll depend on my mood. I might even start it earlier than the 25th of January because when I'm moving things around and I'm digging through my stash, I keep finding, other products that I'm just like, ooh, haven't used this, or I haven't used this in a really long time, and, more ideas. And it's like, I'll just sit down and make something. So we'll see what happens. And my hair is being a little bit weird. Anyway, but yeah, he is a cute little bird. Who'd have thunk? I love sticking birds on cards now, especially die cut ones. I like all my little die cut birdies. There's so many, and they're all so adorable. I like them. And yeah, I may have to do. I had an idea for another one, specifically holiday themed though, more with one of the little cardinal bird dies, even though I've already done that at least a couple times in this year's holiday series. But what's one more card, So I appreciate all of you. Yeah, I appreciate all of you. I'll see you all very soon in another video. Happy New Year. Stay tuned. Life is chaos. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!